wanted to bring Jack Bryson up here. Jack Bryson, how this relates to Oakland, California right now and the struggles that we got going on right now. Jack Bryson's sons were with Oscar Grant the night that Oscar Grant was murdered. So many of you guys seen on TV. His sons was handcuffed, two of his sons, handcuffed right next to Oscar Grant when their friend was blown away by somebody who enforces the law. And, or not just somebody, let me correct myself, not just somebody, some people, you know, people. Because had one of us murdered somebody, everybody that we was with that night would have been an accessory to that murder, if not charged with murder. You know, if not charged with murder. So, you know, I want to take it out of the book for a second. I think that's what is so powerful about Mumia's words. It gives us the political education and the framework to think about these things and see what's going on in struggles right here in the community and how that relates to what he's saying. I mean, I didn't even honestly make the relationship until Jack walked into this event, right? But the reality is, I think that speaks to the power of Mumia's words and how he gives us a structure to look at the world. And not just Mumia, but I mean, we're talking about Mumia tonight, where he gives us a structure to look at the world. So what I want tonight is I want everybody to go pick up this book, but also people that are not involved. You know, some people here are just here to see an event. I want people that are not involved to get involved with Mumia, talk to Jack about, because a lot of people were saying, well, you know, I wish we could have did this for Oscar. I wish we could have did that for Oscar. The reality is, Oscar's gone, you know, and God bless the dead. His sons are alive and still dealing with the trauma, the nightmares, and whatever else that goes along with that. So I want everybody to commit to getting involved in some way, shape, or form. Maybe you don't have time, but you have resources. They fighting a long battle, you know, and I think that us as a community of people who feel that the need for justice, we need to take it upon ourselves to look out for our own and be each other's insurance net, because Farmers isn't going to come to his defense when he's fighting the lawyers. I mean, when he's fighting the Oakland Police Department and the legal system, it's going to be people like me and yourself. So thank you guys for coming. Pick up this book, you know, and, you know, free Mumia, free them all. Okay, hold on. We're going to go a little bit off script. Can he get 2 minutes to read the poem?
Take it. Take the 2 minutes, please.
Thank you, everybody. What JR said is so important, because these young men, when the trial starts, what they're going to do is turn these young men into the criminals. If they're not the criminals, it's Johannes Mehserle and Tony Peroni who committed this murder that are the criminals. It's been 4 months and 24 days since Oscar Grant was murdered by the BART police. Oscar Grant, man, that's all that runs through my head, my thoughts. I go to sleep thinking of Oscar Grant. I wake up of thinking of Oscar Grant. When I'm at work, I think of Oscar Grant. All day, I'm reminded of Oscar Grant. As I drive around Oakland, looking at some of the people's houses, I see Justice for Oscar posters all over the place. And on some businesses, I see Justice for Oscar Grant. Then I see BART signs, or a BART train. That really reminds me of Oscar Grant. I can't but think of Oscar Grant, Jackie, Nigel, Michael, Jontu, Carlos, Jamil, June, Sofina, the mother of his child, and Mario. Those are all the young men and women that were with Oscar Grant. I can't get January 1st, 2009 out of my mind. Excuse me. What Johannes Mehserle and Tony Peroni did and the other officers, they committed a murder of Oscar Grant for nothing. So since this happened, I've been looking up words that what Oscar Grant and the young men did in the dictionary. Murder. Murder. The word murder means to commit a murder, also to kill with brutality, to put it in, just to put it in like that. and to spoil by performing poorly. That's what they did. And what they did to Jackie, what they did to Oscar, Jackie, Nigel, Mike, John 2, Chris, June, Carlos, and Mario and Sofina. What they did before they murdered Oscar Grant. What these kids did and Oscar Grant did, they surrendered, which means to yield to the power of another, to give up compulsively. Then they cooperated. Cooperated means to act jointly or in compliance with the others. No, that was not good enough. What Oscar Grant was doing was not good enough. So they murdered him. He did everything they told him to do. Oscar, Jackie, Nigel, Michael, Carlos, June did everything right. Nah, but these beasts, that's what they call BART, that's what we call them, BART police. As Oscar lay there, murdered in front of his friends and the whole world, they took Nigel, Jackie, Mike, June, and Carlos to jail. Not once did they ask if they were okay or that they were sorry for what they were doing. So what they started doing, they started working on a cover-up. Cover-up means to conceal an effort to keep illegal or unethical act of a situation from being made public. That's what they did. That's what they do and lie and cover things up. While Oscar Grant's mother, Wanda, who was a beautiful person, and his uncle Bobby, his sisters, his grandmother, his grandfather, and his cousins, and his Aunt Cookie, they have to deal with this pain. Also, my son Nigel and Jackie, and for the other young men, Mike, John 2, Chris, and Carlos, and June, and Jamil, and Sofina, who were with Oscar that night, they have to deal with the pain. And also Sofina and Tatiana. They have to, that's Oscar's fiance and his daughter. They have to deal with the pain. And for all the mothers, Z, Tracy, Rosemary, Elaine, Yolanda, and June's mother and Chris's mother, and the whole Bay Area community. We all have to deal with this pain. This is a nightmare. When I hear Oscar Grant's name, or I see something of Oscar Grant, and I say, man, like, that's not the young man I know, but in reality of life, when I look at his picture, and I see the video, yes it is. It is Oscar Grant. He was murdered so senselessly for nothing. That's why I'm asking, like on May 18th, if everyone can come to the courthouse and support us. Because if we don't, they have a video. And if he gets away with this video, then that means they can do anything they want to anyone, especially a black young man. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
And I just wanted to say that on May 18th, that's Mehserle's trial. That's the one cop that they arrested. That's his trial. Remember, they pushed it back because Lavelle Mixon kind of evened up the odds. So they kind of pushed it back. So, you know, I want people to come out there and represent in the streets. Also, we have an email list in the back for the POCC and blockreportradio.com. You can hear Jack's interview among numerous ones with Mumia, you know, on blockreportradio.com. So thank y'all.
Thank you, JR. That was unexpected and very emotional because this is our justice system, people. This is where we live. This is your political system working for you. Look at what we're doing. We have to stay aware. We have to stay involved. You can't just, it's not just Mumia. It's not just this woman in prison or that woman in prison. It's very serious. It's very much bigger than what we're doing right now in this moment. So please stay involved. Please stay aware. Keep your eyes open. And for Oscar Grant, and also for JR, who is being persecuted currently for the support of Oscar Grant, you know, this is amazing. I'm actually in tears, so I'm gonna keep this going. Sorry.